The power cut began to unfold between 12:30 and 1:45 and affected most of Gibraltar. Gibraltar says a contractor working in the area of Europa Point damaged a high-voltage cable forming part of the ex-MOD network. It says the North Mole power station protection systems isolated the fault, resulting in a loss of power in other areas of Gibraltar. The power supply to most customers was restored by 1:15. However, areas in Europa Point remain without electricity. The incident follows Friday night's power outage, which saw 75% of the community plunged into darkness.
Obviously we want answers, but I think the statement was a bit disappointing from the Chief Minister because it's like this is the only power cut we've had in the last few years of major significance. So sort of come out now and say, I look for answers, it's a bit sort of like, what about the other power cuts? And also like us, like obviously what you have to do, so it's like that's like your job, right? Like it's one power station, one company, which is owned by the government, which is kind of your responsibility. So it's like, stating the obvious.
1 hour, just only 1 hour, which normally is quite a lot more, makes stop business. You know, so you have to sit here and wait.
We did not have the problem today, thank God, right? But it becomes a big problem when the lights go off, right? So it's better when all the lights are there for us, and especially in our business hours. That's because that's the moment that we have only to be able to do the business, right? So if that moment lights are not there, clients cannot see anything, so it's a waste of a day.
I was very much affected. I was actually performing in a play here at Casement Square, and we were midway through a scene with a full audience, and suddenly we're in a blackout. So we were out for about an hour and a half with an audience waiting, not sure whether we were going to be able to put the play back on, but the audience kindly, and we were very lucky that they all wanted to stay and watch. So in the end, it ended up being a really good performance. But yeah, it was a bit inconvenient, but can't help these things.
Generally speaking, is people coming, they enjoy. Obviously, after we have the karaoke, bands singing. Obviously, no electricity, the bands had to go. The clients, obviously, they were a bit demoralized. They're like, okay, so what can you do? Nothing. So they go, they went. So a little less people, and more by each hour passed. After a while, the casemate just completely emptied itself.
We had one on Friday, but we hadn't had one for quite a while, had we, really? So our takeaway arrived just in time.
For me, it was actually in the middle of a Zoom call, so obviously it interrupted, but I was able to continue the conversation by putting it on roaming. We thought this was something of the past.
In response to GBC questions, Gibraltar said the damage was caused by a private contractor working on behalf of a private developer. It states the works were granted site clearance in 2019, and the existence of the high-voltage cable had been known to the developers since then. Gibraltar says it's taking legal advice on its ability to charge the contractors and developers for the cost of the repairs to the cable.